It's Thomas Henson here with thomashenson.com, and today is another episode of Big Data, Big Questions. And so today is a very special episode, and I know I say that a lot, but this is one that I'm extremely excited about. I've wanted to get this out for the last week or two, something I've been going on around Project Hydrogen. So Project Hydrogen does not have to do with gas, right? Hydrogen's a gas, right? I'm pretty sure it is. But that's not what I'm talking about. So Project Hydrogen is actually a project that's been incubating in Spark. So think of Apache Spark and, streaming and batch analytics, all made possible there. 100x times faster than MapReduce when it came out. Open source, out in the community, data engineers everywhere using it, ton of contributors. Project Hydrogen coming in as a way to bridge the gap between. Find out right after this. So welcome back. I'm going to talk a little bit about Project Hydrogen and some of the things that I've seen from Spark Summit, and there's a lot of information out there around that. But before we get to it, I just want to thank you as a community. Thank you for all the questions that are coming in. I appreciate you commenting on the videos here, letting me know, what you want to hear from me. Let me know when I'm right. Let me know when I'm wrong. Really appreciate it. Just continue to give me that feedback, and I'll continue to make these videos and try to make them better, and just keep us all involved in the community here. So make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. And now let's talk a little bit about Project Hydrogen. So Project Hydrogen is being incubated out of Spark. It was announced, I think it was the earliest I've seen some information around it, that they really went public with it was at Spark Summit. So, if you follow it on Jira and, in the developer side, you've probably seen them talking about it a good bit. And so basically, if you really break it down, Project Hydrogen is the project to be able to bridge the gap between Spark and other deep learning, well, specifically deep learning, but other machine learning libraries. So think like Tensorflow. So being able to use Spark over here and be able to treat Tensorflow or other deep learning frameworks as a first-class citizen. Part of the problem and part of the reason that we haven't been able to do that, and where we're going to be able to, is a little concept called gang versus embarrassing parallel. And so these are two ways that Spark uses to process data. The first one is primarily what Spark uses right now. It's called gang scheduling, which is an all or nothing, meaning that if you're going to process a job, you want to process it all at the same time, right? So you have to wait for all those resources to be available to do it. That's really well for, and worked for Spark for a long time for the processing and for, when we're talking about big data and a lot of the projects that we've worked with before. But when we start to look at the way Tensorflow does things, the way that, anything, a lot of things around deep learning or processing the data, that really doesn't work. What they're typically using is what we call embarrassingly parallel. And so embarrassingly parallel basically is just saying anything that can be parallelized, so any job that can be broken up into multiple pieces, and completed there, you can spread it out, right? And so that's embarrassingly parallel. It's just as simple as that, being able to parallelize, right? All these jobs, all these different pieces. So really used a lot when we talk about deep learning, not so much, whenever we're talking about Spark and in some of these big data projects that we've talked about in the past. So Spark wants to be able to, with TensorFlow being so popular with PyTorch and Caffe and all these deep learning frameworks, and kind of seeing where we're going, right? The big thing with deep learning that we really didn't have and that we really kind of, I won't say missed the boat, we just weren't ready to start doing the analysis, was being able to do it on images and videos and audio. So, think about, being able to do natural language processing, or, being able to take videos or take images and detect, is there a cat in it? Is this a shirt that I'm wearing? Is this a hand I'm holding up? Am I holding up 5 fingers or 4? So all those things, all those really cool things that you've seen and that we've talked about here when we're talking about deep learning, Spark wants to be able to do that, right? And Spark, has an ability to create awesome data pipelines, right? This gives them the ability to start writing and start treating TensorFlow and PyTorch as a first-class citizen. So this is where we're talking with Project Hydrogen gives you the ability to do that. And so that's where Spark is coming in, and that's where Spark is hoping to go with Project Hydrogen. So still early in the process, but I wanted to get out there. I wanted to make a video of it. So if you've heard anything, if you've seen anything, it's something that I'll continue to follow. I'll probably do some follow-up videos for sure around it, because I'm really excited to see, two of the most well, I won't say most popular, but for sure Spark is one of the most popular when we talk about big data frameworks, and TensorFlow is getting there too. So I mean, it's going to be awesome to be able to see that. I can't wait. I can't wait to start writing some of those jobs and just make them a little bit easier, right? Like the whole point is for it to be, these, not just TensorFlow, but all of them. But I'm just going to talk about TensorFlow, right? But to see them treated as a first-class citizen, like MLlib, right? So basically, being able to write your data pipelines and it be very simple code to write, just like when you're using MLlib within your regular Spark job. So make sure that you follow along so that you never miss an update. Because like I said, I'll be talking about this, I'm sure, a good bit. A lot of activity from the community after this was released and talked about at Spark Summit. Go out there, check out some of the videos on it. But just let me know. Let me know if you have any ideas about it. Let me know if anybody's really started looking at this or if anybody's following it and what they think as well too. Until next time, thanks again.